Have a good show tonight. Let's get quiet on set. We're going to go live in 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. Oh, we are live. Here we go.
We're live?
Yeah. Shh. Okay. Live from Houston, Texas, where it's hotter than Hades. It's the Ginger Crumb Monday Show. Live with Ginger and Sammy. Of course, Sammy's always there. Like the head do there, buddy. Ginger.
Hi, John.
There
Hi,
you
Sammy.
are.
We're all ready to go. He's not kidding. It's like in the 80s here.
We're the high 80s. We're 88 today.
We're 88 today, and we still
And
haven't
the
got
studio's
the
gotta
AC
be close
working
to
in the
100.
house. But this is a real challenge because now we've got all these lights in here. We're filming. So I tell you what, if I see we're whipping through this lesson today fast, that's why, right? Okay, so on Mondays, we ought to do a lot of different things. But one of the things that's happened over the couple of years that John and I have been filming and doing stuff. We started off with a very inexpensive camera, probably less than $350, and a couple lights. And as time has progressed, we've managed to kind of, I would say, up our game. We've got better stuff. And so now I'm going back and looking at some of these older videos, and we're going to start taking them down, some of the real old ones, and replacing them with newer stuff. How's that? So we had early on our first time with the first camera, we're like 6 cameras in from where we started and like 8 computers later. I mean, you just can't believe what a deal it is to pull something like that. People think you just sit down with a camera and a computer and do this, and you just don't, you guys. There's a deal. It's involved. And anyway, so if John will show you with a picture, this was a speed painting we had on our one of the first ones we ever released on YouTube, and very, very low resolution, very few frames a second. It wasn't even 60 frames a second. So it's pretty jerky. It doesn't have a lot of views. It's a neat painting. It was was trying to introduce you guys to our Wave and Water Masterclass. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to do a horizontal of this. We're going to kind of film this, and I kind of did a sketch on the computer. We're going to kind of change it more like this, all right? And we're going to go from this to this, all right? And then and the reason being is that we've got such great paintings for our Wave and Water Masterclass. And I mean, on our camera stuff, like for instance, this month, John's still been working on this one all month. Some of our videos are now 7.5 hours long for a Wave and Water Masterclass. They're really evolved. Here's how I just dropped all those, John. Sorry.
Oh, great.
Here is, I want you to see this. Zoom back out. This is one of our new releases that will be coming up. John's got the first day of this.
Almost done. Yeah.
Done. And it's taken a long time to edit, but this is how evolved our Wave and Water Masterclass has gotten. And so, like I say, we're going to go ahead and redo this. All right, we're going to redo this one. So I want to say hi to everybody, give a shout out to Kim Song and Wendy, our moderators. Do we have another moderator, John?
I have not seen Sandra as of yet.
So if Sandra shows up, we want to say hi to her. We just try to keep this fast and friendly. We're going to get right down to this.
They're asking, is there going to be an advance warning when we retire them? Not really. I mean,
no, we're just going to be taking them down because they're just crummy. I mean, I look at them and they're just crummy. They're just I mean, look, we've got a couple that have got like 40,000 views. I'm not taking those down. I'll just make another one and then link to it with an iCard or something. But there's like something like this. It's just going to go away. It's
going to be the lower volume. The lower watched ones are going to disappear.
Yeah, the lower watched one. If they don't have at least 5,000 views, they're gone. That's
Sandra is there. Hello.
Hi. So hi, Sandra. So anyway, that's the plan. And so tonight, the first thing we want to do is we're going to divide this into a couple of sections. We want to we're going to need an underpainting. And as you all know, yellow only paints over white. So my horizon line is a little bit below half. This is an 8x10 canvas. I'm just going to come in here like this, like that. And what is that? About 3 inches up. And I'm going to make it about 2 fingers, which we said was an inch. Remember, 2 fingers. Ginger's 2 fingers to Ginger is 1 inch for Ginger, right? It's going to come about like that.
That's the official ruler.
Perfect. That's going to be yellow. So we're going to do sort of an interesting Wave and Water. Now, you guys see this big unseemly blob of ultramarine blue? This is why I hate jars. I ran out of my tube, so I got one of these jars out, right? Ultramarine blue. This was the spoon that came out of there. I mean, I guess I could put some back. You can put stuff back in a jar, but I mean, I'm really not
Before
a
it
big
gets
fan.
contaminated.
Before it gets contaminated, I've got to put like half of that back in the jar. Wow, huh? But that's my thought about jars. But
Now,
anyway,
typically, jars are not for the non-sock folders either.
yeah, sock folders are non-sock folders really don't do well with jars. Though if you do the math, just like anything you buy, the bigger the container, the less the less money you pay. So you save money if you can be a neat sort of person. All right, now I have sanded my canvas. I have sprayed the back. If you listen, hear the drum sound.
Go that way. Can you do that? Can you flick your finger? See? Now that sounds like a drum.
All right, that's the drum sound, and that was accomplished by spraying the back of this and tightening up the canvas. That's just something you want to get in the habit of doing. Okay, so you turned my little camera thing away from me. Did you see that? That little thing is turned away from me.
Sammy, adjust it for her. He'll get it in a second.
So, all right, so what I want to do first, because I've got a clean brush, is I'm going to take a little bit of white, titanium white,
People are
and a little bit of cad yellow.
People are saying your mic is weak.
Weak, interesting.
I'm going to turn mine down.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and just talk. See,
All right, testing. Am I still weak here?
try again. I'm just talking.
Just talking normal, okay?
All right, I'll bring mine back up.
All right, so there we go. So
See how that goes.
we'll see how that goes. All right, so there's my little band of yellow. All right,
All right,
so
we just tried hers.
and now I'm going to go in. I'm going to get some Dazzling purple, some ultramarine blue, some white. Okay. And a tiny bit of yellow oxide, not much, just a tiny bit, and gray that just a touch, just a little bit of yellow oxide. That could be yellow ochre too, so just gray that out. Yellow, let's go back to our basics here, you guys. Yellow grays purple because it's opposite on the color wheel. So it's just one of the things. Color wheels are handy, they're like a cheat sheet, you don't need to know much. All right, so we're going to come across here like this. I'm using a bright number 8 brush. You could use a little bigger one. It would finish very fast. All right, you see how this is sort of it's really a beautiful purple gray. And you saw how we got that. Ultramarine blue, white, purple, and a tiny bit of yellow oxide. Okay? So anyway, that's how we've got that. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're kind of celebrating a little bit tonight because we did 30,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And we so appreciate that. And you guys, if you've subscribed in the past and you're not getting notices, YouTube unsubscribes you to channels that you haven't watched for a while. Did you guys know that? You're not up to speed with some of your favorite channels. Maybe occasionally there might be a science channel you just watch once in a while. Well, you don't watch it for a while. They just unsubscribe you. It's very discombobulating. So anyway, just if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And then that little bell underneath, and you will see where you'll be notified then, or mostly. Something will tell somebody, if your favorite channels are going live, that's the trick. Do the little bell trick, and then they'll let you know if we're live. Because we don't always follow the schedule. I think I want a little more purple and blue in this now. A little bit more ultramarine blue and purple in this one. Down here, I'm coming underneath here like this. Now this is fairly simple. Now the thing is that when you're first learning to paint, and you get this far, this doesn't feel much like painting, does it? I mean, really? Does it? I mean, it really doesn't. So you're looking at this going, well, I don't know. This doesn't, how can this turn into a painting? And that's the thing. It's like going to somebody's house and they're, and going to their house and they're saying, look, I'm building a new house. Come see it. And you go over and you go look. And a little bit more purple as I go down, a little bit darker. And you go look, and all they've got is the wooden boards up. And then they walk you through the concrete, and then the wooden 2x4s are up. And they're going, this is the kitchen. Isn't this great? And you're looking, you don't want to be rude, but I mean, it looks like some boards to you. You can't see this kitchen. What are they talking about? And then here's the master bedroom. There's going to be my window, and that's kind of a space where a window could be. And you haven't seen the plans. You haven't seen the whole thing. So it's very hard for you to visualize their house. They sat down with the architect and had a picture. And again, you've got to understand the building blocks of a painting. All right? That's a good title for this, except that probably nobody would search it. But this really is the building blocks of what it takes to make a painting. Is your layers of color. Now, okay, so let's just come back up here. We're into the little bit of the darker colors. Now, I'm going to add a different color today. I'm going to add raw umber. Raw umber is another color that will gray something. So I'm going to take a little raw umber into the purple. Okay, a little bit of raw umber, and I'm going to come up here like this, maybe a tiny bit of ultramarine blue to that. Okay, there you go, a little bit more like that. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to create a darker cloud now. This has had a chance to sort of dry, and so I'm going to I've got a little air kind of blowing on here, so I'm going to start working on my sky and work my way down as we chat to you. Happy to answer questions. One of our favorite new games now, you guys, is our trivia question. And this is fun. I roll the dice. John's got 6 little cards that he can pick from, and we let you all.
6 little groups.
6 little groups of
not just 6 cards.
600 cards you can pick from, and we've been playing trivia. And the other thing that we're playing is the secret word game. Okay, we have the secret word of the day, which we will. I'm going to again give you 2 secret words. You only need to find one of them, and we're going to do the secret word thing. I'll talk to you about that. That's fun. And if you get all the 8 secret words, and we started with the...
Now, each day has at least 1 secret word, if not 2. You
So
need to have 1 secret word from each of the 8 sessions.
8 sessions, okay. So, and so, we're going to start off and do a secret word, and we'll do that fairly soon into the broadcast. And anyway, so now you'll notice I'm getting a little more white. John, so we're doing this as I'm painting, because I can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to roll the dice here. And it's a number 2, all right?
It is a number 2. I'm so excited for a number 2. What is category number 2, Sammy?
What is the category number 2? Here's a little bit of white up here.
What? Okay, give me a second. I'm answering that question.
Okay, John's answering a question, then he's going to, we're going to start our trivia game. I think this is funny. It's all about, it was 800 questions or 600 things to know about art. And, I certainly don't know them all, but I thought that would be fun to do, right? Absolutely, oodles of fun to just kind of create here. Now we're going to keep coming down here with a little bit of this light purple, then I'm going to go back up into some of this dark
here we
purple.
Go. Question number 1.
Question number 1, we're listening all ears.
In what position is Auguste Rodin's famous thinker? Is he sitting, standing, recumbent?
Can I give a hint for that?
No hints. We have intelligent people out here.
Okay, because I have a great hint.
Okay, let's hear the hint.
Dobie Gillis. That only accounts for older people only get that.
Guess I'm not old enough.
You don't remember Dobie Gillis?
No.
Oh.
I remember the name.
You don't remember Dobie Gillis?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. The rest of you, doesn't remember Dobie Gillis. Well,
okay, let's go with this. How many people remember Dobie Gillis? Answer that. We have mainly sitting so far. Everybody's sitting.
Okay.
They're all sitting.
Okay.
30K, that's awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Sitting. Yep, to Dobie Gillis. I remember Dobie sitting. And the correct answer is sitting.
Sitting, yeah. And Dobie Gillis used to sit like this, and he'd talk about how crummy his life had been. Remember, that was his whole thing. He was a teenager, and he would sit there and kind of whine about his life and the things that were happening in it. It was a kind of one of the very first sitcoms they ever pulled. And then after that was the other real famous one was Gilligan's Island.
No. Was it Gilligan's Island? No.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island was one of the first ones too.
Okay.
But, I just kind of remember. All right, see how the sky's changing a little bit, just playing with these purples. We haven't done anything with this.
See, Wellwood. Who's Dobie Gillis? That's what I like to hear.
Dobie Gillis, I don't think, I wonder if Netflix has any of his old shows. Probably not. They were black and white. That was back before color TV. Let me tell you how old that was. Of course, it may have been in color, but we didn't have a color TV for a long time when I was growing up. And my dad was a judge, and there wasn't a money thing. It was a mother they were older, and they just didn't get television. And my, adopted mother was an artist, and she wanted to watch some art show on TV and realized that it wouldn't help if it wasn't in color. And boy, we had a color TV the next day. But, my sister and I were going, all our friends have color TVs. Well, if they jumped out of an airplane, would you do that too? You remember that?
Oh, yeah, always that.
If you jumped out of an airplane,
your friends jumping off the cliff, would you follow them?
Yes. What was that about, right? That was just, there were these sayings. I don't know where these people got it, but they all said it across the country. There was this sort of blanket mom statements that they were allowed to say, right?
I bet they all got together and had a commune or something.
There was a mommyism
Yeah, mommyism. I like that. A mommyism.
There was a mommyism club, right? And they all said it. In fact, I have a book called Mommyisms.
Really?
And yeah, I have to find a little book club from famous mothers of famous people. We should show that out sometime. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of white now because I want to suggest there might be a moon here. While it's still purple, it won't be too white. See, I'm just going to suggest a little moon. All right, and then I'll take a little bit of white just on the corner. You see, it's amazing what you can do with a bright brush. And just tap in a little bit of light there. There's our moon. And then as long as I'm saying that, now I want to switch colors on you, okay? So I want a turquoise color. So I'm going to take some white, okay, and a little phthalo blue, and a tiny bit of raw umber because we don't want it too bright, okay? So we kind of antiqued it down a little bit. And a little tiny bit of yellow. See what that did? A little tiny bit of yellow, maybe a little more white. Okay, so now I've got this sort of light phthalo blue, and I want to come up in here like this, barely touching this, come over my sky, like that, and I'm going to come down here and use, now my blush brush, zoom in, hon, because my brush is going to be flat, and I'm holding it kind of flat like this, and I'm going to come down here like this, kind of overlapping some of this, haven't had to draw anything yet, turn it over because this side's a little darker, come down into here like this, and suggest that it's sort of this pretty blue color. I think I'm going to creep down into the yellow a bit, down into here like this, come this way, all right? Now I think I'll take a little tiny bit of phthalo and add to that, and a little tiny bit of raw umber, make it a little bit darker, and little tiny bit, little more raw umber, a little more phthalo, all right, a little bit darker, okay? Now let's see, let's see, tiny bit of yellow with that, like less than 1%, just kind of make this sort of a deep turquoise green. See that color? Isn't that pretty? So then I might take that and suggest that that's in here too. All right, so I just want you to kind of see how I'm pulling these colors in, just dab and kind of push back and forth like this. Okay. All right, awesome. That's good. So we don't need to do a lot more there. That's pretty much what we have there before we rinse our brush and start. And now we've been in the blue, so we can't start playing in the orange and the yellow unless we really dry something. So my best bet is to dry this little bit right here before I play in the orange and yellow. Okay, you ready for that? I'm going to do that. All right.
Okay.
He's going to turn us down.
All right, we turned her down. What do we got in our repertoire to show? Oh, this was sent in by Anne Marie. Now Ginger sent back to her, which she hasn't responded or done anything yet. But this was such a cool idea of how she added a moon to this particular scene. And Ginger just wrote back this quick little tidbit here, making the bench bigger and add flowers on the left of the tree. Ginger, you're up.
Yeah, no,
I just had to share that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. I posted that on Facebook today too. Sometimes, I mean, I love them. You guys remember that particular painting? That bench is actually one of our auction pieces, the original one to that. And so, here was an artist that came up with a very good idea, and created a night scene. And I just sort of suggested that if the bench were slightly bigger, if you had some more, you have two of the same kind of trees, so chances are if one's flowering, the other one should be too. And and add the highlights. Everything gets a light and a dark. And in her case now, the light's coming from the moon, so the tops of the bench would be good in the arms and so forth. All right, so that's one of the reasons that we talk about personal art coaching a lot, but that's one of the reasons you might want to consider it. Here's some white, and this is Cad Red Light. All right, and there's a little bit of white with it, and I'm going to come up here like this, and just sort of kind of play with this over the yellow. You see that? Because I want the yellow underneath. Somebody asked me in a comment, they said, I wish you would do a show on how to pick the undercolor. Well, you usually pick the farthest thing away, you pick the darkest thing first. But if you're talking about a sunset, then it pretty much has to be, see, and I'm going to bring some of that up into our Look what happens when I overlap that up into some of the blue here too. If you're going to do a sunset, it pretty much has to be, you have to start with yellow and then go up from there, all right? Now I'm going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of tiny yellow, white and yellow, okay? More white than yellow, okay, like that. Wipe off the excess because I've been using my brush to mix. And I'm going to suggest that, let's do some more white here. I'm going to suggest that this is lighter in here like this, going to lighten this up. And then maybe take some Cad Red medium in yellow and make a deeper orange. Wipe my brush off because I've had white on it, right? Let's put some more yellow with that. There we go. Tap my brush off and then just come in here like this maybe and suggest something deeper. Now I'm going to get some mixing white, which is your transparent white. And I want to just, the back part of this, I don't want to talk too much about. I'm going to just, we'll probably paint over most of this, and but I wanted to just have it here. The only way I can get this is if I paint it in now. So this is sort of, we're going to suggest sort of a warm sky with a little bit of a, sunset going on here. Okay. And I'm just going to just suggest that the sky's just sort of, everything's just kind of, the lights are kind of turned off a little bit. There we go, way down here like that. All right. Now, for me to do much more than this, again, this has to be dry. I could come along like this part here, and I'm going to say that up in here, I'm going to put some, I'm going to put a little mountain back here. And probably about like this, and then here I'm going to have, we're going to see very little of this part of the sunset right here, so I'm going to have some rocks right here, and we're going to have a wave kind of going up about, say, starting here about 2 fingers, kind of coming along here like this and crashing into these rocks here, kind of at this angle. All right, so then you're saying, what could I get away with painting right now that would still work? Well, if I go into the white and the blue, a little bit of that turquoise color, which is sadly dried up on me, but I know how to make that color, so that's okay. I'm going to put some more white with it, make that little turquoise color. Raw umber is a really fast way to gray a color. I want to come down here now, look at this, I want to come down here over some of my orange and bring my, my blue down, see? But that orange has to be, kind of pretty much has to be underneath. Can you kind of see why that would be? So, so if you want any of the orange showing through, you've got to kind of do it first. So we're going to break this up a little bit. Okay, so there's our kind of our pretty blue sky. I know that, for instance, right here, and we're going to keep this very simple on your wave. On our wave action right here is this sort of turquoise blue color. And there's a lot of different ways to paint a wave.
Brenda would like to know what happens when you use chalk on wet paint.
Nothing. It's just kind of, if it's too wet, it won't work. But I've got a fan going on me, and it's drying this painting really quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
I mean, I've got this fan going on me right here. So I'm going to say that there's some of my, darker. Here's my turquoise, and now I'm going into a darker turquoise as long as I'm going to play with my wave here. Now, and then the reason, okay, so we're going to come down here, and then we're going to add a little bit of ultramarine blue to that. And we're going to keep going this way, a little more ultramarine blue. Now as we come down this way with our wave, okay, now it's gotten to be ultramarine blue and almost a little purple. So it's gotten a little bit darker this way, okay. So now this is sort of a gradation of our wave. Do you see how we're making that? And then as we get this way, we're flattening it out. All right, we're flattening everything out like that.
When you get a chance, show us your reference.
All right, so here's what we're going for. We're changing out. We switched out this, right? We're switching out this. This was a vertical, and I went ahead and I redid it on my computer, just as what I call a computer sketch. All right, so that's what we're going for now. All right.
Thank you.
So that's what we're going for now. So that's So now that we know that, I mean, we're sitting there saying, now that we know that, I mean, and that's pretty cool that you know that. Now you know that. We're going to say this is very light right in here like this. Okay, and then as it comes down toward the bottom, we get into more of the ultramarine blue down here and purple. a little bit of ultramarine blue and purple, and we want it pretty dark down here. Down here at the bottom, as long as I'm just playing with the colors, right? I'm going to dark down here. Now I'm going to take some burnt umber in purple, come over here and make a dark color, and I want to come right up here like this over my sky, okay? And I'm going to make a very jaggedy cliff. Okay, there's maybe some jaggedy rocks here like this. Still using the same brush. Okay, like that. And we're going to say that there's our jaggedy cliff. Now see how everything, you couldn't do this in oil, you couldn't do this in watercolor. You can get away with this in acrylics because of the way they dry. A little bit of red to that. There we go. So this is our dark rock here. Okay? All right. Now you can see how we're building this painting, which is kind of cool, which I think anyway. Time for another trivia question, John. Okay?
Yeah, the trivia question, what program did Ginger use for her computer? That's Corel Painter Essential Painter 5, I believe it's called. Yeah,
the reason I use it is because it's very simple. I don't have hours to learn how to do something. I figured it out in about 10 minutes, and I really like it, and it was 20 bucks or somewhere. It was under $25 on Amazon. I think we have a link to it on our store, just because people asked us. It's a really good, really good program. Tricycle. Okay, what I want to do now is roll the dice.
And I'm kind of lucky. I don't even see it.
6. It's 6.
You didn't roll it around, did you?
I did. No, it's 6. It's 6.
It's a mystery question.
It's 6. Oh, I hate those mystery questions. I never know those, John. I don't know those mystery questions. They're a mystery. That's why they call them that, right? They're a mystery. They are such a mystery, John. Okay, so
this is a good one.
Oh, okay. All right. What's the good question?
Among these 3 home appliance companies, find the artist's name. Millie, Bosch.
What?
Bosch and Dyson.
Okay, so Dyson normally is an air conditioning company, right?
I know them as vacuum cleaners.
Oh, Dyson vacuum cleaners, and then there's Bosch.
These are 3, among these 3 home appliance companies, one of them is an artist. That name is an artist.
Bosch, and what was the other one?
I'm saying Millie, M-I-E-L-E. Miley.
M-I-E-L-E, Mile. Okay, sounds French. Okay, you guys, I have no clue. Anybody else? I have no clue. None.
I love mystery questions. They're my favorite.
They just stump me all the time. I have no clue. Anybody else got an idea what that would be?
Yeah, we have 1 Bosch, 2 Bosch.
2 Bosch, okay.
To Bosch or not to Bosch?
Okay, a little raw umber, a little bit of
5, 6. Griffins. That's not one of the choices. Bosch.
Okay.
It's a runaway with Bosch. And Bosch is the correct answer.
Wow, good for you guys. What did Bosch paint? Who was he?
Really, Bosch? We're going to have to Google that guy.
We'll have to look him up. We'll have to Google him because he doesn't ring a bell to me. No idea who that is. All right, see how I put a little kind of a dark little mountain back here, jaggedy, kind of more interesting than just some rolling hills, right?
Bosch
back
painting.
Here in the background, there's our little hill, kind of a mountain back here. It kind of balanced out this shape, all right, which was why we were doing it.
Bosch is from the Netherlands in 1450.
Netherlands. So interesting. From the Netherlands in 1450. All right, we're going to take a little bit of ultramarine blue and phthalo blue and mix that together and a little raw umber. Okay, and then a little bit of white. I don't want it that dark. There we go. Now I'm going to just I want to put in our back, let's put a little purple with that. A little dazzling purple with that and a little more white. Okay, now I want to come in here like this and just sort of suggest there might be a little bit, let's get a little bit more on our back water here. Now let's take some mixing white and let's change brushes. That's getting kind of big. Here's these little ruby satin angle brushes are so fun to use because you can just put paint on one side of them and use them just at an angle, and we're just going to come back here like this and kind of add a little chop to the water. It's a very simple painting. I think you guys are going to be able to do this easily. I picked this because I thought it would be a good introduction to our wave and water. Like I say, our sound, if anybody saw that, our sound and our equipment is so much better from what we've been filming the last couple of years, and then just even since Christmas, you know, we've really upped our game as far as this. Now I'm going to just kind of use my brush like this and suggest a little wave coming in here like that.
The question is from Cheryl, what are we calling tonight's lesson?
I don't know. I have no idea, you know, painting waves, waves, I don't know.
We'll come up with something before we finish it.
All right, so now I'm going to go, now I know, look here's our picture here. This is kind of what we're going for, right? So I want a little bit of a yellow coming through my wave here. So this is dry, so I'm going to take a little white here and come back this way. And right where I think I'm going to want some yellow peeking through the wave, I have to make that white again, all right? Okay, so there we go. We're going to do that. There, and then I'll come back with my phthalo blue, white,
Robin
yellow.
Coe did a little research for us, and there are 8 painters with the Bosch for the last name.
8?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow, we all are learning something new. John, you should show that. We got to show the people what, we have a contest with the secret word, but you're actually going to win a painting.
Yes, you are going to win a painting.
And
Ginger, what's that painting?
That
Can you show that
right
to
over
us?
there. It's right over there.
Oh, thanks for pointing.
Yeah.
Can you use your levitation power and bring it to you?
I would. Can you get it? I'm sorry, we should have had that up to begin with. That secret word business, you know what I mean? Like I say, we'll do 2 tonight. And just so, make it fun. And
the rules again. Make sure they understand the rules.
So the rules are that we started off the secret words when we did this painting. Incidentally, we got some really fun ones back. Thanks you guys for sharing this with me on my Facebook page. We've had some great pictures. One gal said that was her best painting she'd ever done yet. So anyway, this is called The Proposal, and if you'll look on our YouTube channel, this is where we started with the first secret word, and all the live videos after that. None of our Raz videos have a secret word, 1 or 2 secret words in them, and that's what we've got there. So this was The Proposal, and that was done incidentally on a little square canvas. A really fun painting, I thought. So, and that's the painting you're going to win, by the way. And I don't care where you live, I will mail it to you. Personal.
Now, the deal is, you have to have 1 secret word from each of the 8 episodes, starting with The Proposal, and then the 8 regular shows, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, not the Raz. And we'll have a special form on the website that you will answer with those 8.
Yeah, and we'll tell you when to send in your secret words. All right, now you'll notice I'm taking some white up here as long as I'm fooling around with this.
Oh, Nancy said there's also a Dyson painter. So what kind of question was that?
Well, I don't know. If there's a Dyson painter, then I feel that they cheated.
Among the 3 home appliance companies, find the artist's name. And somebody said that Miley or Millet is also a painter.
Well, that's.
I think we need to write the mystery people and say, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, me too. I'm telling you what, I'm feeling a little cheated here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to come like this with a little bit of.
So I guess that one you couldn't have been wrong.
This is phthalo blue over the white, like this, like that, and just come back this way. And we'll go back with some white. You see how I'm just doing that, and then pinch my brush off. This is titanium white. Ooh, big blob of paint. This is why you always kind of watch on your brush like this. There you go. All right. So there. This is where we've got. This is our wave. This is we're starting to get our wave. Now, if that hasn't dried yet, so while that's drying, I will work on our cliffs.
The rules have not really changed. The only thing we've done is we've added a couple of words on the last 2 episodes.
Last 2 episodes, we added a couple of words
because the connection we've had with YouTube has been failing.
Yeah, it's been failing, and it didn't really seem fair to
so we make sure we
not
give
everybody
you 2
can even
words
hear it, and they're so we thought it would be fair. You don't have to get them both, but we thought if you one that would be fine.
Yeah, you just no. I mean, it's really bad. They just released it again.
All right, so you see how I'm taking some of this light purple that I used on the rock.
That's just weird. And now you know why we do the 2 words now. And there it goes again. Well, you have the storms going through. Somebody was just talking about the Midwest or the South. I guess it's in the Southeast right now. It's getting their portion.
Okay, so you say we're adding more stuff to the sky as we go. See that? And here's a little mixing white, and we're adding some stuff to the sky here. Just adding. We're saying that the clouds are a little lighter underneath because they're getting some light from the sun. So are the last of the sun that's there. So we're just making the clouds, the underside of these purple clouds, a little bit lighter with a little bit of transparent white. See how we're doing that? Like that. We're getting kind of a fun sunset going like that, you know, like this. And let's, I think I want to bring down my my sky just a little bit more than I have it. A little bit more phthalo blue, a little bit more white. More white. You'll notice I don't keep changing. Watch me mix these colors. I don't keep working the same puddle. I move over a little bit. I always am moving over, all right?
Because yes, two more shows to go.
Okay.
For the secret word. That would be Tuesday and Wednesday show.
Yeah, these and then
that means I'll have to come up with a special form before Wednesday's show.
Yeah, get with it, John.
I can't believe I'm just sitting around just playing with the buttons.
I'm telling you what. Okay, so here's my wave here, and here's our sky here doing this, which I think is really pretty. We're playing with the complementary colors, as you can kind of see that. This has had a chance to dry now, so you can see how we're doing this. How did you do? Pretty good here, right?
I think it's looking pretty darn good. You want to throw up the original there for a couple. All
right, so we started off with this one, which was a speed painting on YouTube. You can watch how I painted it, but it was done so long ago.
With so many old equipment.
It just wasn't a good paint, so we're taking that down. And I thought, wanted to leave something else up, so I went ahead and got on the computer with one of my painting programs and kind of designed this off of that one, okay, which I thought was really pretty. And and I can play around with this a little bit too. I'm just going to show you. I didn't do everything in the painting program. I just did enough to kind of give myself an idea of how I wanted it, okay. Here's some light orange color like this with the yellow. Then I pinch the brush. If I'm using the brush to mix, I'm always pinching.
Pinch the brush.
And then I'm just sort of taking, let's take a little orange here. A little bit orange, there we go. I'm just sort of suggesting that there might be, there, let's just do that. Let's just back here on this one.
Brenda would like to know, when are we dropping Wednesdays? Wednesday will be the last Wednesday in April.
We'll drop you on, because if you guys got a chance to paint along with John yesterday, when he did his bananas, or maybe you've seen it since then, his banana painting, which I think was just pretty neat. Okay, here's a little yellow going through this wave right here, and as we come down a little further, we'll add a little bit of the orange to it, see? Like that, and just sort of blend that in. Barely touch it, okay? Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Already it's looking kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. A little bit more. Ooh, wow, what happened? A little bit too much paint. That's all right, just a little bit like that. Okay, now rinse it.
That was real color surprise.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you get little globs of paint. There you go. Now you'll see me looking up all the time. I've got a monitor right in front of me, and I can see what I'm painting, which makes it very easy. Because normally if you're painting on an easel, you want to stand up and get back away from your pictures. All right, so now we're going to say that we've got some white, reflections in our water coming this way. So we're going to just start with white, like that, and just keep coming across here like this. We're not going to get too clever. And we've got some stuff coming up this way. Remember, it kind of is climbing the wave, and then it kind of levels off, like here.
Donna has a question.
Sure.
Is yellow the only color that won't paint over other colors?
Yellow's about the worst. Yellow's really, sadly, the worst. Red really does prefer white. If you want a bright red,
really
start with white. If you want, when you're talking about flowers, if you need to kick up a color, put it over white.
Down.
The minute you put it over a dark color, it's just it doesn't reflect as well. All right, so I'm going to just
Which is interesting, because it's supposed to be an opaque color, and it's not supposed to be transparent, so you really shouldn't see the color behind it, but there is a difference.
Oh, huge difference.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's just, yeah, so, all right, so I'm going to say...
People enjoyed our thumbnail video, thank you.
Did you? Now look, you guys, people said, why are you crazy? What are you doing there? What was that about? What it was about was that to get a good thumbnail, you need a good shot. Now you can sit there, and take lots of pictures, or you can just film a video and then go through it frame by frame and stop it and see if you have a good shot. It's a much better way to do it. So we just made that for ourselves and got to laughing because it got to be so silly.
Which I don't understand. We were very serious people.
Oh, I know, and it got to be so silly. And then, and again, it's kind of hot up here. There's no air conditioning, right? And
we don't need no stinking air conditioning. It's
and,
only Houston.
so anyway, that was the genesis of that. And then we got to laughing. I said we should put this up because it is too funny.
So we did.
Okay, and so we did. All right, you see what I'm doing here? I'm just little brush strokes going back and forth like this, and then I'm going to say that just over in here, we're going to switch and do the mixing white. We're going to come over here. Let's put a little bit of purple with that here. Let's just come over here with a little bit of a light purple, and let's just suggest some, just something kind of pooling around these rocks here, like this.
That jar of paint, that ultramarine blue, that's a heavy body, isn't it?
Yeah, it's heavy body.
Yeah, it's heavy body.
Yeah.
Soft body, you could probably pour it out, right?
Yeah, well, they never sold it in a jar. It's soft body that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I've never seen it, soft body. Okay. Now I've got a little mixing white. Now I'm going to lighten this up here a little bit. Kind of a little bit of light going around our rocks, right? Now let's just say that there might be some water coming down here like that, maybe where it's splashed and it's going straight down. Kind of making the curve and going straight down like that. Want to zoom in?
I will.
Yeah, zoom in because that's kind of fun. So we're keeping it in the purples, and we're basically saying so something came this way, like this, came straight down. And I do is your paint's drying in your brush as fast as it's drying on the canvas. So every once in a while you've got to just clear your brush off if you want some thin lines. All right, now I think I had something coming up this way, and let me just make sure I actually have some paint on my brush. That always is very useful.
The air conditioner guy's supposed to be back this week.
What's supposed to be back?
The air conditioner guy. They're worried about us.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be back this week.
Yeah, we cannot get a window unit. We looked at that. The room is too big.
Yeah, can't do that. And
the
air conditioner guy, it's just my ex-husband, is supposed to be back this week. He's got problems with his truck. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll come back, fix you all up." Thanks so much. It's so appreciate it.
John, did the first secret word date start on March 14th? It did, if that is the proposal video.
Proposal
video is the first one.
First secret word, okay?
The first secret word.
First secret word is and we've already done one tonight already, by the way.
Did we really? I missed it.
Yeah, we did it. We did a secret word tonight already. One, and I'll do another one soon. Just letting everybody know, in case you were just sitting there going, "Man, I'm sitting around for this. When's she ever going to say it?" I said it. All right, I want to come back up here.
I haven't used the pool yet, but getting real close. It's getting hot.
It's getting hot. Haven't used the pool yet. That's right. But we have been going to the gym. I want you to know that we've been going to the gym. John and I go to the gym late at night, about like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I've been, he goes every night. I'm trying to go every other because I want my muscles to have a chance to kind of recover from all that. Having used to do competitive trail riding, I kind of know if you want what you got to do if you haven't been doing anything in a while. And I really hadn't. I wasn't supposed to do a lot of stuff when I had my eyes done, and before that there was the gallbladder. I have all these great excuses why I haven't been, but and I really basically on all levels just hate it. But I can't just hate it. But I take my book and I listen to my audio book and I look at I walk on the treadmill and I look at little scenes and stuff. I'm going to put a little light around here like that on our little island here. Like this.
Rhonda has a question.
Yeah.
Since the sunset is on the opposite side of the waves, why is the yellow on this side?
Oh, I just did it this way because the sunset's right here.
Well,
it's not over here.
Wave.
It's not over here. It's not over here. In fact, if you think it's over here, trust me, it isn't over here.
It's gone now.
It's gone. It's not over here. The sunset's right here. Sorry. I just not finished it. The sunset's not there. Goodness gracious, no. There's no sunset there. Okay, I'm just going to pull our clouds down. We just did a little bit here. Okay, there's no sunset over here.
Oh, funny, Gail. No, we know the words. We're writing them down. We have Sammy who's writing them down.
Yeah, we're writing them down, okay? So now I haven't done the splash yet, okay? But I want to just take a little bit of this yellow and orange color, and I want to come in here like this into where we did the white, see? Remember, I did the white, so I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow like this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the yellow first. If I want anything that's yellow, now I'll take a little bit of this orange color, which is not orange color. What happened here? Okay. Oh,
I just
got
saw you
it.
didn't even go in the orange. I think
It,
when you came out, though, you hit that blue.
I hit something. Okay, so here's a little bit of orange and white, I think. Maybe some yellow with that. That's that cad red light. All right, and I want some light color in here with some of this yellow peeking through. I don't want a lot of this yellow peeking through, but some of it peeking through like that. Okay. So coming up here like that, and then we'll take a little cad red medium, which is a little darker, and darken up a couple of these. Okay. All right, now let's take some yellow and white and see, and I'll show you. You can do yellow over the top of something. It's just not as bright. Does that make sense? You can, over light color, you can kind of do something. All right. Now let's see. I don't want that right there, so let's take this and put this back.
Teresa is asking, when doing waves, can you spatter the splashes?
You can spatter the splashes with a toothbrush. That's kind of a cheat, but you can do it, absolutely. And I don't even have a toothbrush around here. I might show you how to do that. We haven't done a splash yet. All we're doing now, you guys, all I'm doing now is I'm going around waiting for things to dry, right? So that I can do my, see the right side of my cliff is you see what I just did there? And I might even take it in this picture. Where'd it go? In this one, I warmed up a little bit of this, but it's kind of like a little bit of this edge of this cliff. I kind of warmed up a little bit too, right like here. But I don't think there would be much of that if we did it. I had a little bit more in this other picture than I wanted, but it might warm up a little bit of it right there on this cliff. Okay, what did we drop? Something? What happened, John? Oh, I can show them, right? Thank you.
Well, we need to show this translucent green that this one has in it, because they're still confused with that yellow coming through.
But that's not the one. I should get the other one.
Yeah, and here's another example of of a light color coming through. We've got a bunch of them where they do. John's going to find another one where they come through a little bit. And again, we're not done yet because this is our water in the background, and now we're going to, here's our put a little bit more of our sky back, okay, which is what I want to do here. Let's see, I want to come back under here like this. Now I'm going to start adding a little more color in a couple places to my sky. But all this has to be dry in between or it doesn't work, okay? So this is almost like we're glazing over now with a little water and say cad red medium, and it's almost a glaze. We can come back and glaze some a little bit darker color if you don't want it too dark. John's finding a few more colors. Here's another good example of a wave in water where the light is shining through the wave, okay? So those are examples of when it's very clear up there. So this is just how we're painting this.
Well, can you hear me now? I wasn't near the microphone. I was walking around the studio.
Okay, so now, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Let me know if you can hear me okay.
All right, so now what I'm just going to say here, and let me get some, I think I'm out of white. When you get to a certain point on your canvas, if you have no white, even though I hate to put that much out because we're almost done, but I like clean white when I'm playing with it. Okay, so I'm going to lighten this up just a bit here like this. All right, now I want to come up here with the titanium white, and we're going to come up here like this. And now I'm going to, because the top of this is coming up like this.
Thank you, Kurt, for the $10 donation.
Oh,
you
wow, that's
are
so
our
nice.
hero. And
Now,
you just helped buy another tube of paint.
all right, look at that. Now you see what happened with the white. Now let's see, I've got some water on there. I don't want that. So now I've got. Let's take a little mixing white because that's your most translucent, and that you've got to think of like smoke, mist, water mist, smoke. So I'm just kind of taking the brush and wiggling it and pushing up like that, and suggesting that here's our. Now what will happen is when I do this with the mixing white, we go over that a little bit. Do you see that? There's still a bit of that yellow color coming through, but we're going over that. And then, all right, this is our first layer of mixing white, and I want to exaggerate this wave and really have it crashing up here. And the mixing white allows the sky to show through, so you can kind of peek through on the sky, which is kind of cool, right? And then you come back with your titanium, And now you do little dots of titanium like that. Say little tiny dots of it like this. Now you could use a toothbrush and mask this all off and do a neat misty thing too. We certainly, I think I've shown you that in another video. I've shown you how to do that in another video.
During
I've done that in another
season.
video. But that certainly isn't the only way to do it. And let's see, we can come along like this and make this a little bit sharper here next to our cliff.
Cheryl has a question for you. How do you decide what to charge for a painting and to give credit to the design should we put on a card on the back?
What's that?
How do you decide what to charge for a painting, and if the design comes from somebody else, and I assume you have permission to use that design, should you give them credit on a card in the back or let the purchaser
I think
know?
it depends. You know, look at if your last name was Van Gogh and you had a reincarnation here and you showed up and everybody was convinced it was you and we did a DNA test, you'd get millions of dollars for whatever you touched, right? Picasso used to sign a napkin as a tip for a waiter, and that was worth like 10 grand at one point. Little scribble on a napkin. So there's no set price on what you charge for painting. It depends on how famous you are. Try not to lose money on it. In other words, I would at least get my materials out of it. Okay? If you've got $5 in the canvas and you've got maybe $15 in the paint, and and you can't charge by the hour now because nobody cares how long it took you to do it. But let's just talk about all of that, of that. Let's see, where's my picture as I'm talking to you about it. So now what we've pretty much decided we want, right? Here's kind of what I'm going for, you guys. Can you back out for me, please?
I can.
Here's what we know what we're going for is, here's my sketch, right? And so if you know that, right, for instance, you don't want to lose money on your materials, all right? And you've got so much invested in the paint. I don't think you can charge for your electricity. Here's a little bit of light up in here, light yellow. We're saying that that's there, okay? And now I'm going to get a little bit of purple and red color while we're talking. So then over your materials, basically you're saying over your materials, what can you charge? And there's again, it depends on what surface did you use student grade paints? Did you put paint on linen? Are you a published artist? All these things make a big difference. I'm not a big fan in general of giving paintings away, even when you're first starting out, because I don't think the people appreciate them. Oh, would you give me that? That would be so nice. I think you ought to say, I'm happy to give you, but I have to paint some more. Can you at least help cover the cost if it's a personal friend or something? At least get your paints back, okay? That's my thinking. All right, so now we're going to put in some of these kind of purple and red and white tones in here. Kind of put a little of that in our water, right, like that.
This goes back to when you were doing the shadow areas from Teresa. Can you use double load for the shadow areas?
What's it? What do you mean, like paint on both sides of the brush?
Yeah.
Sure.
No reason not to.
Yeah, I mean you can, yeah, absolutely. I mean I'm just looking at this going, all right, now I'm going to what I want to do now is take a little bit of this purple that I just did, and I have to where'd that Mister bottle go?
It was off to your right.
No, there's no Mister bottle. Well, I'm looking for the Mister bottle. Here's another trivia question. 2.
Oh, back to what?
I don't know. I'm looking for my Mister bottle. I'm annoyed now. Here, I'm finding it. Okay. Ha. Gotta miss my paints. This fan, I've got a fan on me and it's just drying these things out like crazy. Don't you love this blue next to this turquoise? Oh, isn't that pretty? All right, so we're gonna get a little bit of purple going here.
Okay, before I read the question.
Okay, so I want to just kind of...
oh, here we go. If Ginger were going to paint the edges of this canvas, what color would you use?
this purple color probably right here.
This is a gorgeous purple.
Like that.
Yep.
Just the same color. This kind of underpainting color is what I'd use. And then when I got somewhere else, I'd paint something else, right? All right, so I'm going to sort of, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I want to kind of narrow this down a bit with my purples and stuff and my purple
okay, we got
colors.
one more question with that. But let's go on to this question here. This sounds much more fun. Complete the title of this painting by Jean, and I am terrible with words, so work with me, people. Andre, last name is Fragonard, Fragragonard. The painting is the happy accidents of the motorcycle, swing, Russian roulette.
Boy, where are they finding these old dead artists? The happy accidents of who? Right?
Have you heard of this guy? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Fragonard is
Does he
Nard.
tell what year? I mean, when did he live? All right.
Well, I'd have to Google that.
Oh, well, that's not very. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of wash now here. I'm going to take in a little phthalo blue now, and we're going to put a little bit of wash on the bottom of this wave now. Look what's happened. A little bit of water. See what I'm doing? The bottom of your wave is always darker, and it gets thin as it goes to the top. So then we started off translucent. Now we're darkening that up. Do you see what we just did? Now look how pretty this looks. This is a pretty picture. We haven't had to do too much either, right? And all I want to do is just kind of narrow down my sunset a little bit.
1732 in France.
1732. Well, you know what? Really?
Yeah.
So it's Argonaut then, right? Because they don't pronounce the not part, right?
We have motorcycle, swing, swing, Russian roulette, swing, swing, Russian roulette. I hope it is swing. Swing. What would you like to guess?
Our French connection should. All our French people should know this. They probably learned this in school, don't you suppose?
It's a very pretty painting. It's cool.
What's the painting of?
Well, if I told you it's a painting of, then you know what the answer would be, Miss Smarty. What do you think? I would give you the answer? I give you a choice of 3
I'm
of
going to
them.
guess and say Russian roulette.
Why would you say Russian roulette from the French people? In 1732, does that make any sense?
Well, not Russian roulette. You know, like
Well, but it says Russian roulette. I said Russian roulette. It says Russian. No, you can't change. No.
Okay.
Would you like to?
No, all right. I'm wrong.
It's either motorcycle or swing. What would you go with? What do you think the motorcycle was?
Well, it can't be a motorcycle because it's in 1700, so it has to be the other one, right?
And the other one is swing.
Swing. Okay, good. I mean, honestly, you're right. It's just, All right, now you see what we're doing with the wave? See how we're sort of layering over a few little colors? This is glazing. Look how pretty we've got this wave. Then I want to come in here like this with a little blue down here at the bottom, right? A little of this turquoise color.
I like that question.
That's a great question. Now, did anybody get it, you guys?
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Who got it? Name some names here.
Name some names.
Yeah, name some of the people that got it.
Gail did.
Go, good job, Gail.
Melis.
Okay.
There's another one. Kathleen. Marion. Maureen. Lori. Kim Sim. About everybody but you.
Everybody but me. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Hey, Cheryl's asking another question in regards to selling paintings.
Yeah,
what
okay.
are your rules for selling your paintings?
Well, it's really...
No, wait a minute. What are your rules for selling a painting of yours that I painted to a friend? So they want to know, do you have any copyrights or restrictions?
Well, of course I own the copyright on the images, but, the thing of it is you can. We told everybody, if you did a painting on one of our lessons or on the gallery or on YouTube, it's one of mine, you sell it to a friend. You don't have to credit me. It's okay. We ask you not to make prints, but if you want to just, it's in a lesson, we're happy that you did it. If you ever want to tell anybody how you did it, that's fine, but if you don't want to, that's all right too. I don't mind. I really don't. All right, now I've got a little shadow on here. See, on the front part of this white part now, see? A little bit of shadow on that. See the very front part of where the wave's falling over. See what I just did? Darkened this up here. Darkened it here. Now, honestly, I think this is getting very pretty. Don't you guys think this is getting kind of nice? And now let's put some shadows in this part of the water from the rock. Let's darken this side up. Lipstick. Lipstick.
I like the idea of darkening that one up there.
You like that? See, now we have it. You got it dark. We're saying it's a little bit darker here, darkening up this corner, right, like that. And see, we have this side darker right here with the wave. So that kind of balances.
I know there are tons of Gales watching. Everybody needs to have different names. Ginger, you are awesome. Even though she answered the question wrong, she still gets an awesome.
I get an awesome. Yeah. Well, you know what?
You're
you know,
lucky.
history of art, that's its own little subject. You know, we all could get better at that.
Oh, we
Really,
are.
truly. My dream one day is to be able to get to the Hermitage. I've been to the Louvre, I've been to the Prado, which is the big museum in Spain. I've been to the big museum, Metropolitan Art Museum in New York. I've been to Houston, I've been to Dallas. There's a couple in California, though I lived there, I never saw. And I'd like to see, there's one in Washington, D.C. I'd like to see in the Hermitage is one I would be very interested in seeing. And I'm just going to make some waves here, some little foamy stuff from where, right in here, where this water may have fallen down. Here like this, where it's playing around, okay? Here, we're just gonna suggest, you know, some wave action here. You like that? You know what I mean?
How do you get a copyright of your design from Cindy Lou? Cindy Lou's asking the question.
You can copyright, any image is automatically copyrighted the minute you do it. Now, if you want to register it with the U.S. government, you go to the usgov. something or other and something.gov and copyright, and there's papers you fill out, and you copyright it, but it's automatically copyrighted the minute you do it. You know, you're automatically granted the copyright. The thing of it is that there are several foreign countries that don't necessarily honor that. I remember one time my ex-husband came, you know, and this was really funny. He said, there's some people selling a bunch of your artwork down the street, you know, out of a back of a car, you know, some Chinese copies in oil. And it's funny because what I can say about this particular husband was, it sounds like I had hundreds of them, but this particular husband was that I never thought he had a clue what I painted. I mean, it just really, I thought, man, how would he know? But I felt I had to stop what I was doing and get in the car and go see, right? You know, I felt that was going to be required. Does that make sense? And so, to just kind of pull that out a little bit. And sure enough, absolutely true, he was not wrong. There were some people that had my paintings. Now the thing is, my stuff's about color and thickness, and you know, my original stuff is really textured and thick and done with gels and very, very thick and stuff. And they're little flat, sad little oil paintings that they were selling out. They were selling me and a bunch of other really famous artists. I was kind of glad to be in that company. Well, honestly, the people they were copying, you know. And I just said, you know, it sounds kind of snarky, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh, snarky. I love that word.
All right. There was a couple of artists who personally I knew, and their publisher was out of New York, who should remain nameless, who didn't just, who gave up on copyright lawsuits years ago and just hired thugs, right? Just thugs.
It was cheaper.
It was just cheaper to hire thugs. And I said to the guy, I said, you know, this is my artwork. You're selling my original artwork here. You don't have the right to sell it. And I understand you didn't paint it and you're just being hired to do that. But let me tell you, but some of these artists, they won't care about you and who hired you to sell what. I said, one phone call from me about where you guys are, and it could go very badly, only because I would just have to let them know this was happening. And down here, that in your little van, right? And I don't know, they kind of disappeared. You know, maybe they went to sell it in some other part of Houston where I wouldn't catch them, right? But then it turned out, and then one of my good friends says, "Oh, you won't believe it. The lady at the beauty shop right down, her store is right down the mall from mine, and she has that Chinese copy of your painting in her store." And I'm going, well, you know, it's nice. She likes it. Doesn't look like anything I really painted, even though she copyrighted the design. You know, I mean, even though it wasn't copyrighted, but even though I had copyrighted the design, had all that stuff registered with the government, the painting didn't look like mine. It just had my design in it, and then they just took it. There's only so much you can do. You know, that's all I would say. I'm not. I would say the best thing to do, right? You automatically, if it's your design, it's automatically your design. Okay. And also, if it's an old dead artist, anything over 100 years old, doesn't have a copyright on it anymore. So I don't have any copyrights on Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night any more than you do, right? So, you know, if it's an old dead artist, there's no copyrights at all on that.
We would like to say a special thank you to Donna for the $13 donation. It's very generous, and we appreciate that.
Oh, gosh, thanks,
I
Donna.
would have acknowledged it earlier, but you can't interrupt the goddess, as somebody said.
All right, do you see how I'm putting in some dark? Thank you very much, you guys. You see how I'm putting in a little bit of dark down here? Now, isn't this a fun little painting?
It's a great
You
little
see,
painting, and you're doing it in a bang-up time. I can't believe it's only been an hour.
Yeah, this isn't bad. I'm just saying that this is a nice way to do a wave. And look, all right, so technically maybe you wouldn't see the yellow in the wave. I think you're going to see it, but I'm an artist. This is my heaven. I can make up anything I want. We already have realistic people who make up, you know, who you know, you know, who are all about the realism. And quite frankly, I'm all about the color. I'm all about playing, you know, oranges and turquoises, and I'm all about that kind of stuff. Okay, here's a little mixing white. I'm just going to sort of soften these clouds a little bit up here. Just using, if you use the flat of your brush like this, see? I mean, you can get kind of an elaborate sky here. I mean, I'm having fun with this, right? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, this is sort of pretty. It just, we're sort of suggested a moon to, I don't know. It's just my little world.
You can do what you want.
This is Ginger's world, like Wayne's world, right? This is Ginger's world. I like this orange shining through here, don't you? You couldn't get that otherwise. Don't you love that? And this, and I'll tell you, there's something very nifty about light back behind. You know, whenever you have mountains, if you have a little light behind them, and then just take a little mixing white and kind of fade them into the background. Look at this. You just sort of fade those out so you barely see them. Just that's atmospheric perspective. Tiny little bit of mixing white there. They're gone. See that? And they're gone. We didn't get too crazy with this. Fun. Yeah? Fun.
Excellent. Susanna has a confession.
Oh, I like confessions. What you got, darling?
Ginger, I messed up the painting with varnish. Is there any way to fix it?
When she says she messed it up, and most people go up and down with varnish and back and forth, and then they've messed it up. Is there any way to fix it? Not much. You can paint over painting. The worst one I ever saw was one of my friends, who's now a really good personal friend. She was taking art lessons from me. And honest to gosh, you know, as you get older and you start needing glasses for things, and I think that happens to most people after 40, quite frankly, but maybe some people resist till they're 50. But anyway, you get a lot of these paint things, and they're all, let's see, they all have kind of the same kind of labels. Now this requires reading, right? They don't have different colored labels for different things, which I think sucks, but they don't. So she actually, thinking she was varnishing something, she actually took gesso and gessoed a big 30 by 40 canvas she'd been working on for weeks. In the middle of the night because she couldn't sleep, and she called me up, what can I do? I said, start again. Can't get that off. Now, one of my friends, she messed up her painting. She takes lessons from me. Hi, Lorraine. Going to say hi to Lorraine. We'll throw her under the bus tonight. She was doing, nobody listens to me. I tell this first off, and everybody thinks they know better. But anyway, she went up and down and back and forth on this sort of abstract, and all the lines were going horizontal. And she had this up and down stuff, and it was a hot mess. So she says, what can I do? And I said, well, what you can do is you can take some gloss gel medium and a palette knife and go over it, you know, each following the brush strokes, and try to override the ones underneath.
Yeah.
And that did work. It actually fixed it. You know, she just, you know, where you take, almost like you're putting on peanut butter, you know, and you just get a palette knife and
Now,
you kind of
can
slop it on.
You can paint right over the varnish. If you totally screwed it up, you can just start all over with that same thing right over the varnish.
Yeah, but then you have to start the painting over again. You can varnish a piece and then keep going. The gloss, medium, and varnish is what we're talking about here. The gloss, medium, and varnish, that's the glazing stuff. I don't know where the gloss, medium, and varnish is. Where did that go?
It's back on the wall.
Back on the wall. Oh, John puts everything away. You can, yeah, you can do that, right? You can put anything, you know, over there, right?
You can put it over the varnish, but you're starting over again.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to we've got John. There's a couple more pictures I want you to show. Can you show a couple more? Because we've had some good. Everybody sends me their stuff on the weekends. As your personal art coach, I get slammed on the weekends. Wednesday, I never see a thing. Okay, but I get this was Andrew's. This was his Andrew's picture, and he did the flower pots. This is one of our YouTube videos that we have, the pots of flowers. We had so many great stuff come back with that. So I wrote him and suggested that this is what you all should be doing, okay? Is you take a black and white picture of it. Now you see, here's a black white picture of mine on the right, and there's his. And now you see those four big white spots because he didn't put enough of the contrasting colors, you know, on his picture, all right? So then he went ahead and he sent me his picture, final picture, he sent it back. And you see now he's toned down those big yellow flowers, he's added a little yellow oxide. And then I went on to say to him that even though he did all that, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this to you. When you're painting something, think about a play. There's the movie star, and there's the supporting actors, and there's the cast, all right? So one of those flower pots, you could pick a yellow and purple one, really doesn't matter. One of those flower pots could be the center of interest or your lead actor. Then you want a couple supporting actors, and then you want the cast. They all can't be going, me, over here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. That's what you want to watch out for when you're painting something. How's that? Okay? So I think that's a good example. So it isn't enough to do lights and darks. Now you've got to hone it down and figure out where your center of interest is, you know, and where your light source is going to lead up to that. But that is better than the first one.
Indeed.
Okay? All right. And was there any more that we were going to show? I think that was pretty much it, right? I'm just sort of breaking this up. I think we're pretty done here. You guys.
We have the English truck that was into a card.
Oh yeah, this was fantastic.
There it is there.
Look at that. She painted our old English truck, which is an exclusive Ginger Cook Live members lesson, and she turned it into a card. Isn't that wonderful? It was 8 by 10, and she made a greeting card out of it. I love that, don't you guys? So clever. You can't teach a good idea. Teach someone how to do something. I love the clouds. I love the truck. It's just a really great painting. And I also want to show you guys our preview this week on this Thursday. Hopefully, no, at least by Saturday, because John's really been busy. At least by Saturday for our members.
Oh, I love that one. I'm warming her up to the barn and tractor.
This is our barn in the spring. You know, what do we call this?
The Blue Mountain? No, Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain, Blue Ridge Mountain, Blue
Ridge Mountain Sunrise, something like that. Isn't that fun with the water and the flowers and the sky? All right. So that is our lesson for our members for this week, which I'm very excited about. It should be either sometime between Thursday and Saturday. We'll have that up. Every week our members get a new painting. And the reason we do so many is because not everybody wants to paint the same thing. This week we had, this is now on our website, the 2 cherries. This is part of our kitchen series. Remember we had an apple before that was sitting on the same kind of cutting board. And then in a couple of weeks we have the lesson for this. That means the lesson by this. Y'all should be ready to do that by now. So we've built you up to it, right? And that's the lesson for, so that you're going to get ahead as far as what we're putting out for gingercooklive.gallery. And then I want to show you a picture I've been working on today that will be in the coming weeks. This
months.
is our...
Don't say weeks.
Months.
Months.
You know, probably another month or two, because we're getting caught up here. But that's our streetcar, and I still have a little more work to do on that, but this is what I was painting on today.
That's a fun one.
Streetcar named Desire.
Yeah.
How's that? All right.
Now, I want to remind everybody we have an auction going on that will be ending on Saturday, April 1st at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Any bids placed after that time will be ignored. I will try to update them as they come in. These are the current paintings that are up. There's 18 different varieties, and
different
every
sizes?
single one of them has a bid on them.
Yeah, everyone has a bid on it now. You want to check and see where your bid is. We did it where if you wanted to pay it out over 3 payments, you could do that.
We have a
2 or 3 payments. We made it. We made it possible for anybody to if it wanted to purchase an original Ginger Cook, and every painting comes with a certificate of authenticity and a personal note from me to whoever buys it. Plus, we ship it to you.
And next auction will be in a few months, and we'll be using an eBay style auction.
Yeah, we never tried this before.
We didn't know how this was going to be, so we wanted to try it, see if there was interest in it, and there seems to be, so we're going to...
All right, well, you guys, there, look at this. Isn't this almost a cute abstract, too? Isn't it this little little strip of something?
That's going to go up for sale, too.
I mean, I'm just saying, this would be nice against something black, wouldn't it? Just like a little strip of color.
Yeah.
All right, so there's our... that's our picture for today, and I think that it's kind of a nice compromise between this one, right? You know, and the speed painting one that we did, and this.
Heck yeah.
And which was my idea to do this.
And now it's new and improved.
New and improved. And Now, thanks for watching, and we'll be up tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we're gonna
7:30ish.
30ish, 7:30ish. And our idea for this, right, would be to. I'm going to go back tomorrow night and pick another one of the lessons that we're probably going to take down or redo, and do another one. We'll do something else. So time to get into the 2017 and the new equipment.
Yeah, we got to update those older ones. A couple more final comments. Can Ginger paint a water fountain, please, from Wendy? Just something to keep in mind. And somebody said something about a hummingbird. We have been looking for one. We haven't found one we liked yet. We came across one today that was so close but didn't work. I love the barn, but it doesn't have a tractor yet. We know. I'm warming her up, people. We can't do this all at once. You have to sneak it up on her.
Yeah, tractor. Yeah. Okay. Well, those are some good suggestions. We love your suggestions. You never know what we're gonna come up with. Part of the fun for me, you guys, and I hope it's fun for you. Fun for me is the fact that we can paint all this different stuff.
Yeah.
We never get bored with it. We're always learning new things, and not everybody wants to paint oceans, and not everybody wants to paint flowers. But we try to do a few things, and I think that this is kind of cool, and I hope you guys had fun with this.
Sorry,
John, everybody wants to see John's new picture. If you haven't seen John's pictures, this is John's progress. We got to brag on John because this is really something the way we're doing it.
It's you.
All right, let's find you.
There's my banana.
Okay, this is John's banana. Look at that. That's what he painted. That's his third acrylic painting ever, and a whole 2.5-hour lesson for this. We did this Sunday and it's a Raz episode, but we're calling them John's Journey, and Ginger teaches John to paint, and this is his third painting. This was his second one, and this was his first one. So how cool is that? Now, John's never done acrylics before, and so, I mean, we really slow it down for you. If you guys really want a lesson that's been slowed
really
down.
Slow it down. We go at John's pace, which is nowhere near Ginger pace.
We go at John's pace, which is okay, right? Because, I mean, I'm talking, yakking, and saying, I put a little color here, put a little color there, and it's this and that's like watching one of those funny gourmet chefs, right? You're going, yeah, but what was it, pepper? What the heck did he do, right? So, yeah, I may be a little bit like that, but I'm very proud of John. I think John is, his goal is to become a master acrylic painter, and you're going to follow along with his journey while he does that if you want to. It's just something fun to do. You can always check in and see how his progress is. And that was fun, and that's one of the reasons that at the end of April, we won't be doing any Wednesday classes anymore because we're so committed to, taking time for John to learn how to paint. Okay? So I think that's kind of fun. So anyway, we appreciate it very much, you guys tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed, hey, share our stuff. Put it in your playlist. This helps. You put all that stuff goes in the playlist, and then what happens is,
YouTube knows it.
Yeah, YouTube knows it, and then these get around and shared more. All right. I think it was a very good introduction to our Wave and Water Masterclass as far as learning how to paint water. You don't have to be a master to paint it, but we kind of show if you paint enough different kinds of water, you're really good. Zoom in right there. Look at the colors in this right here.
Here, let me do that.
Zoom in right here at the end. I just want you to see the colors that are in this wave, and we got that by glazing and so forth. Look at these beautiful colors. Look at the turquoises, the greens, the blues, and it goes all the way over here to the purples. Isn't that pretty?
How do you do that? Oh, we just had a lesson on how to do that.
We did. So
play
anyway,
it back, people.
And then
look for the secret words that are in there too.
And we just added some of this color to tie it all in, and I think it's kind of fun. So I hope you had fun too.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow night on another exciting episode of Ginger Cook Live Tuesday. Learn to paint. Learn to paint with Ginger on Tuesdays.
Learn to paint with Ginger on Tuesdays. There you go. Thanks,
Night,
guys.
everyone.